The following public service program is brought to you by the Metropolitan Library System. And now, Read About It with your host, BJ Williams.
We have a great show for you today, including a talk with Glenda Carlisle, who will be here to tell us about the Oklahoma Book Awards. But first, Ann Thompson, who's Executive Director of the Oklahoma Humanities Council, is with us. And Ann, you've got a really exciting event coming up.
We do indeed. On the 22nd of February, Thursday evening, we will have former Principal Chief Wilma Mankiller deliver our Oklahoma lecture in the humanities.
Oh, that's really neat. Mm-hmm. Now, can anybody come to this?
It's open to the public. It is free, 8 o'clock.
Mm-hmm. Now, a lot of people probably don't know much about the Oklahoma Humanities Council, so could you briefly tell us what it is?
Every state has a humanities council, and we are nonprofit organizations, but we are also the state affiliates for the National Endowment for the Humanities. So what that means is we get a grant from the NEH with the mandate to re-grant that out to the people of Oklahoma, nonprofit organizations, to put on humanities programming. And humanities programming, I like to explain it as ways to learn about the human experience with a basis in those disciplines that we're familiar with from colleges and universities in the humanities, like history and literature, language, archaeology, art history, and use that basis to provide opportunities for people to come together and learn about the past and really improve the quality of life.
And one of the things that you do, among many, is have this lecture series in the humanities. So now, it's February 22nd at the Historical Society, the new building there. And do people need to sign up first?
No. Let me say that this is a very special lecture. This is our 22nd year to do this, but this is a very special one given that it's the centennial year, and we are so pleased and honored that Chief Mankiller has agreed to be our presenter this year. We are doing something new also. We are giving her the Oklahoma Humanities Award. This is our inaugural year for this. This is to recognize individuals that have either contributed significantly to the humanities in Oklahoma or to the understanding of the humanities in Oklahoma. And Chief Mankiller, through her work and all of her activities, has succeeded in promoting and preserving the traditional culture of the Cherokee Nation, and that is important to all Oklahomans to understand, especially in the centennial year, because the history of statehood is so integrally entwined with the history of the Native American people. So we're having a dinner at 6:30 that evening. Now that does require a $50 fee, but that will be an opportunity to have a dinner with Chief Mankiller and see her presented with this Oklahoma Humanities Award. Then directly after that is the lecture, and that is at 8 o'clock, and that is not requiring any kind of advance notification or tickets, and that is free and open to the public. So we're looking at this also as less of a lecture. She will give some introductory remarks, but we have a former board member, Jay Hanna, who is the former Secretary Treasurer of the Cherokee Nation. He works with Bank First, but he is going to act as moderator, and he will ask Chief Mankiller a few questions, but then open it up to the audience so that they can interact with her.
Oh, that's neat. And then I understand afterwards she'll be signing a book?
We are going to have available one of her books, which is it's called Every Day is a Good Day. It's an anthology of Indigenous women's essays, and she will be on hand to autograph those books.
And very briefly, we're just about out of time. If they don't have the information, they can contact the Oklahoma Humanities Council. They should have the phone number and the website up there, www.okhhumanitiescouncil.org, to get more information. And I hope a lot of people show up for it.
Oh, we do too.
Thanks very much for being with us today,
Thank you for
Ann.
having me.
Hi, I'm Donna Morris, Executive Director of the Metropolitan Library System. 2007 will mark Oklahoma's centennial year. 100 years is a long time, but public libraries have been part of this community since the very beginning. And we're still exactly the same as we've been all along, your primary source for information and entertainment. The delivery methods are different now than in the early days. Today we provide free wireless access, free internet access, DVDs, CDs, free programming for people of all ages, along with the traditional books, magazines, and newspapers. But what hasn't changed is our dedication to helping you find exactly what you need. Librarians continue to be the guides to the up-to-date world of information, and our librarians at MLS are the best in the business. So visit your neighborhood MLS library soon, and as they say in the world of libraries, come check us out.
With me now is Kim Terry. She's Manager of Marketing and Communications and is a regular visitor here to tell us what's happening at the library.
Of course, we've got a lot of great things happening, and in February there's no exception. We've got some wonderful programs going on. One of the neatest things that started last week it's called a Jazz Journey.
Ooh.
And it's every Monday in the month of February. There'll be a lecture at the Downtown Library by OU Professor John Williams, and he'll be talking about the history of jazz and how jazz integrated into Oklahoma City and the surrounding Southwest area. And then following that Monday's lecture, at Friday at the Untitled Art Space will be a jazz performance based on the lecture series. So this week is Jazz Age in the 1920s, so Friday's music will be about jazz from the 1920s.
Oh, what fun.
So it's going to be, it's a great series. It's really, really fun.
Now, people don't need to pay for the lecture or anything, just show up?
Neither the lecture they don't have to pay for that, or the music, the
Oh,
performance at the
wonderful.
Untitled Art Space. It's totally free. It's really a fun thing. And then also we've got our 28th annual Friends of the Library annual book sale. It's going to be February 23rd, 24th, and the 25th at the State Fairgrounds, and that's a huge deal. I mean, there are thousands of people and thousands of books to get, so we're going to talk more about that in the next couple of weeks, but
Right.
it's going to be a fun thing.
Right.
And then one of our special things that we have going on this month is Sweet Biscuits. It's a performance that is done by Rhythmically Speaking, and it will be going on during the entire month of February at different libraries throughout the county. And Sweet Biscuits it's a history of black towns in Oklahoma. Ooh. And a lot of people don't know that there are more than 50 black towns that were incorporated by African Americans and that were established by African Americans, and that still exist in Oklahoma. And what the performance does is it follows a family as they come to Oklahoma and settle in Oklahoma. And it talks about why they chose Oklahoma and how things came when they were driving or when they were walking. And a lot of them came through on the way of the Trail of Tears. And it's an interesting performance. They reran this performance. It ran a couple of years ago with great success. Everyone loved this performance. But it's every Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, and Saturday in the month of February at a library in Oklahoma County.
And people can either go to the website, which is www.metrolibrary.org, or they can go to their closest library and ask when it's going to be at their library.
Exactly.
But you don't need to be a customer of a particular library to show up for a program.
Exactly. You can go to any library in one of our metropolitan library systems.
Well, that sounds great, and I think Sweet Biscuits is wonderful for our centennial year.
Oh, yeah.
And learn a little bit more about our history. Now, those programs are really for kids, aren't they? But adults enjoy them as
That's
much.
right. They're for kids and adults, but adults seem to really enjoy them. So
Well, you have to borrow a kid if you don't have
That's
one.
right. That's what I have to do.
I've done that myself a few times. Well, thanks very much, Kim, for being with us.
All right, thank you.
Coming up next, we have Doug Benton and Jim Nimmo talking about some CDs you can check out at your library.
Hey everybody, and hello Jim. Thanks for coming back on the show.
Hello, it's always a pleasure.
I'm always surprised when you agree to come back on to talk with me.
Well, I have very little social life,
I
so
suppose
I have
that's
nothing else
supposed
to do.
Well, you brought some CDs, so we can listen to some,
Yes, I
some
did.
music here.
I'm featuring American performers in this episode. We have Joshua Bell playing American music by nothing could be more American than Leonard Bernstein. He's playing a concerto, oddly enough, made up of themes from West Side Story and also the Serenade for violin and the string orchestra.
I don't know this West Side Story concerto. Who put it together?
Well, it's fairly new in the last couple of years, put together by William David Brown,
Oh, okay.
who was, I guess you could say, an assistant to Leonard Bernstein, who helped him with chores like arranging and that sort of thing, and the office type stuff. So we have that, and we also have Yo-Yo Ma. We talked about him in another episode, and this time he has teamed up with a bass player named Edgar Meyer, and also with Mark O'Connor, who plays fiddle. I can really say this, fiddle. He doesn't play classical music so much, but he does play the fiddle, and he is quite remarkable to listen to.
So the title again is Appalachian Journey, and is it then music from the Appalachians?
It uses the Appalachian folk style, and these are original pieces written by Edgar Meyer and Mark O'Connor, and they've got Yo-Yo Ma to help give them high class, I suppose.
Yeah,
but it's very enjoyable for people who like classical music and for people who think they don't like classical music. This exposes people, if they're interested, to a style of string playing that they might not be aware of otherwise.
Is there anything that Yo-Yo Ma hasn't recorded at this point?
No, he does everything. I mean, he's an omnivore.
I mean, he seems to be everywhere. Yeah.
Yes. He does also, he tours the world with a project he calls the Silk Road Project, which combines players from the Orient and people who play classical music in the Western tradition. And they contrast and show the similarities and how the influence of one has gone to the other.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about West Side Story. I don't know how familiar you are with the show. A lot of musicals, and it's a Broadway musical, from that era have faded, but West Side Story seems to go on forever.
Yes.
Why is that, do you think?
Well, I think the music is an excellent caliber for the theater. And also, I think the story in the plot, you have the contrast of the Anglo and the
Puerto Rican.
And still in our day, we still have contrasts, let's say, between the immigrants from south of the border, contrasting with people who are born in this country. And we still have this culture clash. And I think that helps keep it popular because the theme is still with us.
Okay, Jim, thanks very much. We'll see you again soon, okay?
I hope.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Well, I'm back, and with me is Doug Benton, fresh from talking with Jim Nimmo.
Yeah. I had to change clothes.
Right. It looks like you have a book there, so you must have been reading this week.
Whole book, yes. I'm not familiar with Faye Kellerman's mystery novels. I've never read her. And I like to use short story anthologies or collections as a way to
find out about
somebody I don't know. So I decided to take a look at this one. This is new. This is Kellerman's first collection of short works. There are a couple of essays in here, so it's not entirely short fiction. And, I think her novels must be better because she is a perennial bestseller. She's married to Jonathan Kellerman, who also writes thrillers. Although they don't write together very often. So anyway, she's very popular. She's a very popular writer, but I wasn't really impressed with very many of the stories in here. Now, the ones that worked for me worked really, really well, but the ones that didn't were pretty kind of blah for me. There's one in here called Bonding, which is about a father-daughter relationship that's very wrong. Actually, she's an adopted daughter, so that makes things a little bit better there. But I mean, the girl is 15. Her adopted father is a millionaire TV producer, which is kind of hokey right there. Actually, I think the girl becomes a prostitute just for the fun of it. She goes out with some of her other girlfriends. I mean, it just kind of builds. It's one noir situation after another until you reach the point where I was thinking towards the end of the story, what's next? An invasion from Mars? I mean, she's throwing all this stuff in there. The one story that I liked very much in here is called Malibu Dog, D-O-G, and it's about a cranky old man who lives on the beach, and he buys himself an attack dog and has the dog trained. The guy spends 6 months looking for the best breed dog and then spends another 6 months having it trained so that he could do anything to this dog. And he does. He smacks him, he hits him, he balls up his fist and pops the dog one just to show that the dog won't attack anyone unless the guy tells him to. And this is how Kellerman describes this fella. Stubborn and mean are a lethal combination. A perfect case in point being Connie Batoon, an old coot of 60, as skinny and dried up as a stick of jerky. Then she describes how he has stained teeth from chewing on tobacco. Yeah, I know. Again, it's a little over the top, but at least the tone is a little bit more tongue-in-cheek on this story. There are some others, again, too, that some I had problems with, some I enjoyed very much. I think probably Kellerman is just not a writer of short fiction. I'm sure that there is always the temptation with crime writers, because they're being approached to write something for one of the magazines or for an anthology, and so they want to do it, you know. But I just don't think that's her forte. I'm sure that her novels are better than her short stories. So if you're interested, I think, in reading Kellerman, I'd start with one of the novels and try to come to this later on. I don't think this is a good entry point for her, but I suspect that if you like her novels, you'll like the stories as well, just out of curiosity.
Okay, but it is The Garden of Eden?
Garden of Eden and Other Criminal Delights by Faye Kellerman. I got
Faye
that backwards.
Kellerman.
Yeah. Faye Kellerman.
Okay, thanks, Doug. Coming up next, we have MJ Van Deventer of the National Cowboy and Western Heritage Museum. She'll be talking with Terry Clark of the School of Journalism at the University of Central Oklahoma.
Welcome, Terry.
Good morning, MJ.
Nice to have you back.
My pleasure. Always a pleasure.
And we're in this lovely Oklahoma room at the downtown library, surrounded by books which you love.
Absolutely. Great place to come. Got to come back more often.
Well, please do. You're going to talk about Okalala Blue, Water and Life on the High Plains.
Absolutely. This is a book that I just found shopping through the shelves at a local independent bookstore one day, and it's a subject that's always sort of fascinated me.
It's all about water.
It's all about water, especially the water of the Great Plains. And having been sort of a child of the Great Plains, I'm fascinated by the people and the landscapes and everything else. The Ogallala Aquifer stretches all the way from West Texas clear up to South Dakota.
And it's hidden.
It's hidden. The author describes it as an invisible ocean. And it's what's taken the Great American Desert, which the Great Plains used to be called, and turned it into one of the best agricultural areas in the world. If you're wearing cotton, chances are it's got Ogallala water in it. Okay, I mean, that's...
Not today.
Not today.
Not
okay,
today. Silk.
Still. But the point being, we really rely on that water, and it's about, according to the book, about $20 billion of food and fiber come out of that water. It's being pumped constantly in irrigation. This is not an alarmist environmental book. It is an environmental book, but he records in a series of vignettes, starting with the people and the politics and the land and technology, all the way from Lubbock to Pine Ridge in South Dakota, what's happening to that aquifer, because it's ice age water and it's being depleted. It's going to make the oil crisis look like a teddy bear when we run out of water.
Does he project what's going to happen?
He does, with pretty strong scientific detachment, because in some places the aquifer is actually increasing, and in other places it's really being depleted. And it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take various places, different timetables and things like that. But for instance, the cotton fields around Lubbock, it's sooner or later there won't be cotton fields around Lubbock.
Really?
Maybe not in my lifetime, but it's happening.
But if we care about nature and the environment, this is a book we probably should read.
It is indeed, and it's not so much, again, to be alarmist. I mean, he traces, as I said, all the way up, even through the Oklahoma Panhandle, because the water is also there. The history of it, what's happening, how important it is, what's being done about it, and highly documented with footnotes and a huge bibliography and everything else. Again, this is one of those books where the guy just picks up and drives down the road and starts interviewing people and does his research, and makes you really appreciate both the land as well as the skies of the Great Plains.
Thank you so much for sharing with us today.
My pleasure.
With me now is Glenda Carlisle. She's the Executive Director of the Oklahoma Center for the Book at the Oklahoma Department of Libraries, and that's a long title.
That is a long title.
You're also a writer, but you're here today to talk about the Oklahoma Book Awards.
I know it. Can you believe it is time already? We're ready to announce the finalists. And it seems like it's been no time at all since we were doing this last year.
Absolutely. Now, before we announce the finalists, maybe we should talk a little bit about what the Oklahoma Book Awards are.
Well, the Oklahoma Book Awards are actually the largest function that we do through the Oklahoma Center for the Book. And our mission is to promote Oklahoma authors. So the Book Awards are a culmination of nominations of the best books from Oklahoma, and that were published last year, and either the person has to have lived in Oklahoma at some time, the author or the illustrator, or the book be about Oklahoma. And this year we had 139 entries, which was really
impressive.
Nice. There's only one year, which happened to be last year, that we had more, and that was 141 last year. So very close to the highest number we've ever had. And out of those, we have come up with 31 finalists, and they will be honored at a dinner on March 10th at the Petroleum Club, and at that time, then we will announce the actual winners in 5 categories.
And what are those 5 categories?
The categories are fiction, nonfiction, poetry, design, illustration, and children, young adult.
So we've got a wide range of literature coming out of Oklahoma.
We do. We have some really good authors and some really good books coming out of Oklahoma.
Well, and the banquet is always fun to attend because one of the things that happens before everybody goes to their table to sit down is all of the finalists, and usually most of them do show up.
They do.
Are there available to sign books. Books are there if you want to purchase them, and the writers really love talking to their fans.
They do. They really enjoy visiting with each other, and they really enjoy talking to the fans that are there. And I think that they enjoy that evening probably as much as anyone, even if they're not the winners. They really enjoy being there. And I need to mention that book sale is conducted by Best of Books from Edmond, and they give us back all the profits from that evening.
Mm-hmm. So, and that really helps because putting on a banquet is not cheap.
That's absolutely true. And it's a lot of hard work for them to do that too. Mm-hmm. So we really appreciate them.
Yeah. Well, and it's very handy that you don't have to lug a bunch of books down. You may end up walking out with a lot of books, but in recent years, actually, one of the little gifts that the Center for the Book provides is a book bag.
I was just thinking that same thing when you started talking about that. That comes in very handy for us to give them a book bag so they can fill it with books.
Right. So, and we do a couple of other presentations as well as the winners of the book awards. I believe there's going to be a presentation for a Lifetime Achievement Award this year.
Lifetime Achievement Award will go this year to Clifton Tolbert from Tulsa. And he's written some books that have been made into motion pictures, like Once Upon a Time When I Was Colored, and The Last Train North, and also is a motivational speaker. So he will receive the Errol Gibson Lifetime Achievement Award. Then we have another one that is the Ellison Award, and this one goes to a deceased Oklahoma author, and that will go to Muriel Wright. And Muriel Wright, of course, spent many, many years developing the Chronicles of Oklahoma as a historian, and it was her grandfather that Oklahoma was named after.
Oh, really?
So, so that should be really very interesting.
Mm-hmm. Now, Mr. Tolbert will be giving a short speech at the banquet, so that's always entertaining. If he's a motivational speaker, I expect it's going to be really, really good.
It should be good, right.
So now, the banquet is open to the public, isn't it?
It is. It'll be March 10th at the Petroleum Club. The tickets are $50 if you are not a member of the Oklahoma Center for the Book. If you are a member, they are $40.
And they can contact you. I believe we have a screen with the website and contact information on it. So if they want to find out more or make a reservation, we do need reservations for the banquet.
And probably by the end of today or by tomorrow, we'll have these finalists listed on the
website.
On the website too. They're just you are the first people to find out about this. So this is really fresh, and it has not even been announced yet.
Okay. Well, we're getting close to having to go, so let's get to the really important stuff, which is the finalists.
The fiction finalists are The Black Silk Handkerchief by D.L. Birchfield, Everlasting by Carol Johnson, Magic Time, Doug Marlette, The Piano Man, Marsha Preston, Dreams to Dust, Sheldon Russell, The Limehouse Text, Will Thomas. Several of those are from this area. And the poetry is The Fork in the Road Indian Poetry Store by Philip Carroll Morgan, The Cosmic Rainbow by Mary McAnally, Travels Through the Enchanted Woods, Carl Senham, Native Son, American Poems from the Heart by Ron Wallace, Children Young Adult, Chuck's Truck by Peggy Perry Anderson, Golden, Jennifer Lynn Barnes, Trash, Sharon Darrow, Paradise on the Prairie, Molly Griffiths, H is for Honor, Devin Skillion, Knights of the Hill Country, Tim Tharp, and Crossing Bochita, Tim Tingle. Nonfiction, Indian Yell, Michael Blake, Historical Atlas of Oklahoma, Danny Goebel and Charles Goins, and sorry, my pages are sticking together here. Mr. Ambassador, Edward Perkins and Connie Cronley, The Innocent Man, John Grisham, Children of the Dust, Betty Grant Henshaw, White Man's Paper Trail, Stan Hoig, Thomas Moran's West, Joni Kinsey, Oklahoma City, The Second Time Around, Steve Lackmeyer and Jack Money, and The Colors of Oklahoma Music, John Woolley, and Design Illustration, Oklahoma City, Second Time Around, Carl Brune, Crossing Bochita, Gene Bridges, Chickasha, is it Chickasha or Chickasaw? Chickasha, Unconquerable and Unconquered, David Fitzgerald, The Coal Miner's Daughter, John Goodale, and You Know We Belong to the Land, Skip McKinstry.
Thanks very much, Glenda, for being with us, and you'll be back on after the banquet to tell us who won.
To tell us. Very good. Thank you.
Thank you. Glenda Carlisle, Executive Director, Oklahoma Center for the Book.
Hi, I'm Donna Morris, Executive Director of the Metropolitan Library System. 2007 will mark Oklahoma's centennial year. 100 years is a long time, but public libraries have been part of this community since the very beginning. And we're still exactly the same as we've been all along, your primary source for information and entertainment. The delivery methods are different now than in the early days. Today we provide free wireless access, free internet access, DVDs, CDs, free programming for people of all ages, along with the traditional books, magazines, and newspapers. But what hasn't changed is our dedication to helping you find exactly what you need. Librarians continue to be the guides to the up-to-date world of information, and our librarians at MLS are the best in the business. So visit your neighborhood MLS library soon, and as they say in the world of libraries, come check us out.
See you next time.